Hello, welcome back to 1874 in association with Luke Roper. If you want to get 20% off everything Luke have to offer, I believe I've got a Luke t-shirt on right now as well. And if you use the code TVV20, you'll get 20% off everything that Luke have to offer on their store. So luke1977.com, code TVV20. Get yourself 20% off. Everyone is happy. This is another transfer show, another episode of Transfer Talk. I've just hopped off the live stream post Salzburg. So if you haven't watched or listened to that yet, go and watch out for that. Go and give that a listen or a watch, depending on how you digest or ingest your 1874 content. Just wanted to come on and do a little bit on transfers because I haven't done anything today. I was saving myself for the match reaction show, and then through the day, a couple of little bits have happened. I've had a chat with Tanswell today as well. He's obviously at the game right now. So I thought I'd just come on and talk about the kind of transfer news and managerial rumour news that is doing the rounds around Aston Villa Football Club today. We'll start with Gassan, who Neil Dunworth and Dave Reed have both absolutely ruined his Aston Villa career on my preview recently, because both of them have talked about Gassan in depth in the last two match previews, and both of them doing that has caused him to now apparently be leaving the football club, because Crystal Palace are finalising a move to sign forward Evan Gassan on loan from Aston Villa. The Athletic reported earlier in the day that Palace were in talks with Villa over a potential deal for the 24-year-old, who is now expected to travel to London to complete the move. Palace are set to pay Villa a loan fee of $2 million and expected to have the option to make the transfer permanent at the end of the season. Keyword there being option, nothing mandatory about that deal. Now, everyone will know who's watched 1874 all season. I haven't been a massive fan of Gassan's work. I think there's caveats at it, because I don't think he's been used particularly well. I don't think he's been used in a way that suits his game. Asking him to play high and wide as a winger just doesn't seem to be him. He doesn't have the match intelligence to do that, and I don't think he's got the pace to do that either. I think he'd have been much better suited playing as a left 10 or a central 10. Since Villa have sold Daniel Marlin, there was a lot of noise around the fact that Villa thought maybe that he could fill in for them. But what this does, fill in for him, sorry. But what I think this does, it shows like kind of failings in Villa's recruitment over the last year. Now, I've waxed lyrical about some of the things we've done. You've got to look at, Tillemans on a free, Kamara on a free. Deals like that we've done have been absolutely fantastic. But we have also made mistakes. Quite often we've signed a player and within 12 months they're gone again. It's happened with Marlin, it's happened with Diaby in the past as well. Looks like it's going to happen with Gassan as well. So I think it shows failures in Villa's recruitment, in that they buy a player, but they're not necessarily sure how they're going to use him. I think that's happened with Marlin quite clearly, who I liked and lots of other Villa fans liked as well. And we were sorry to see him go, but I think we can all forgive that now because Tammy Abraham's come in. Maybe Gassan going will open up the market for Villa to bring in another player. I'm not sure about that at the moment. I've got nothing specific to say about that, although I'd be surprised if we let a body go without bringing someone in. But there is noise that Alisson might fill in for and become Gassan. And obviously we've brought Bailey back as well, who I expect overall long term this season will be over Elliott. I think he'll take Elliott's place in the squad. But we've signed too many players recently without really a proper idea of how they're going to fit into Emery's system and Emery's way. And it's fair to say, every time I've seen Gassan play, he's left me feeling frustrated. He's left me wondering, how can Villa have agreed to pay £35 million on him, but they won't spend the same amount on Harvey Elliott? It's been a baffling deal all round, but it did sound like throughout January, from speaking to people and from what Tanswell said as well, that Gassan leaving wasn't really something that was going to happen. So something has changed there fundamentally for Villa to have agreed to it. It's not like we're selling him for a permanent here. The guy's going on loan, we're receiving a $2 million fee, and Palace don't have to buy him in the summer. It's an option. A little bit like when we were talking about Loftus-Cheek, it was almost like, well, what was in it for Milan? Without replacing him, I'm not sure what is in this for Aston Villa. I can't think what Palace's recruitment, which, they've had great recruitment over the years, but since Dougie Friedman's gone, their recruitment's been left wanting in the summer. They didn't have a good summer transfer window. I'm struggling to see what Palace's recruitment team have seen in the last 6 months to think, yeah, we'll take a punt on him. He might be able to do something for us. The obvious one was when it felt like Mateta could be a thing for Villa, that there might be something to do with Mateta and Gassan. But I said all along that I felt Mateta was a massive smokescreen, trying to put the pressure on Besiktas and trying to get the Tammy deal over the line. I don't believe, in my opinion, that there was ever any real interest in Mateta. potentially on a list somewhere, but it's an easy get out to say someone's on a list, and it's a phrase that we're going to talk about when we talk about the Unai Emery links to Real Madrid very shortly. Luca Wooding is saying that Sky have said the obligation is 28 million if certain milestones are met. We've seen with Harvey Elliott, if certain milestones are met, unless they're, something blatant that's easily going to happen, that they don't have to be made. I need to get a proper handle on it with Tanswell. I haven't had that yet. I've spoken to him briefly on text today, but I don't know the intricacies of the deal. But The Athletic are reporting quite clearly that it's an option. People are saying in the chat here that Sky are saying it's an obligation. I know which side of that fence I would sit. I know that who I would believe. Tanswell is very, very, very well informed at Villa, probably one of the top 2 or 3 most informed kind of journos on the Villa beat at the moment. So if The Athletic, him and Ornstein are reporting that it's an option, the Crystal Palace writer Matt Woosnam is involved as well. He's very, very in the know at Crystal Palace. I would say it's an option rather than an obligation. So with 2-3 days left of the transfer window and it looking quite clear that Evan Gassan is going to be leaving, it remains to be seen whether Villa will do any more incoming business to replace him as a body. I believe his replacement's probably already here in either Alisson or Leon Bailey, depending on which way that you look at it. But it probably does free up some wages now. Obviously, Villa don't bring anyone in without the having the availability in the wage budget, and they'd already done the deals to bring Louise and Tammy Abraham in. I don't think they were dependent on Villa having to sell anyone else or let anyone else go, knock anyone else's wages off the board before the end of the window. So it will be an interesting last few days. From speaking to Tanswell, he always kind of says Villa come alive on deadline day. They have an opportunity. If Emery wants something, they'll try and appease him. They'll try and make him happy. Even with injuries right now, I think we're pretty well set. Louise has clearly come in to replace Boubacar Kamara. Yes, Tielemans and McGinn are injured, but I think there's an international break in March that will help us. They're not season-ending injuries, so they're going to come back into the squad at some point. You will always get injuries through the season, of course. McGinn's 6 weeks. He must be a week or 2 through that. No, he'll be a week. Yeah, it'll be nearly 2 weeks through his 6-week injury now, won't he, John McGinn? Because he did it in the Everton game. So my basic mathematics here, I could be wrong, tells me that there's 4 weeks left on him. Tielemans, you're looking at 8 weeks. You're nearly a week down of that already. With Kamara being replaced, Louise there, they've still got Bogard. Barkley's on the way back. Please, Amadou Onana, stay fit. George Hemmings, although he didn't have a good night tonight in the Europa League, he's been name-checked and referenced as an option in the midfield area as well. Because McGinn will be back in the next 4 or so weeks, I would say that we won't do anything else in the central midfield area. People are saying we need another central midfielder. You've then got a massive problem when everyone comes back because you've got too many bodies. My personal opinion would be that I think we are probably done, and that I do again think the squad's pretty well set. The only thing that's really up in the air at the moment for me is Harvey Elliott, and does something happen towards the end of the window that changes things for him. From speaking to Jacob and seeing Jacob's tweets, it kind of sounds like he just played to be a body tonight. Give him a run out. He played 90 minutes. I'd like to see him reintroduced. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but there's still, whilst we get to the end of the window and there's nothing confirmed, something still may happen with Harvey Elliott. So that's the thing I'm kind of most interested in, that come the end of the window, what changes for him, because something has to give. As I said in the last show, the Europa show that I just did live as well. Second thing I wanted to talk about, and if you've got any transfer questions, get them in now whilst I'm talking about Unai Emery here. Heavy links with Real Madrid today. Patrick Berger, not the old Villa player, Sky Sports Germany journalist, I believe, reported that Unai Emery is on Real Madrid's list. It kind of implied actually that it would be like immediate, and that obviously they're struggling at the moment. They've caretaker Arbeloa has been a disaster so far for them. They've not finished in the top 8 of the Champions League. They got knocked out of the cup by Minos in the Spanish league as well. So I think it's fair to say that Real Madrid have made a few bad decisions in recent weeks, and they're in a little bit of trouble. One, I would say Unai Emery would never leave Villa mid-season. 2, it kind of says he's on the list. Now, I've spoke about lists earlier. People can be on a list. It doesn't really mean anything. I'd be very, very surprised right now if Real Madrid wanted Unai Emery as their manager. It just doesn't feel like the right kind of fit for me in what they try and do, and how, the type of manager that has to come in and manage those star players. You look at people that have done well, Ancelotti, Zinedine Zidane, who are more overseers, almost respectfully, let the players get on with it. Real Madrid are a unique club. Ancelotti in particular, I listened to a few podcasts after Alonso got the sack. The experts say that he almost just let the dressing room make tactical decisions themselves. He's more of an overarching figure, more of an overseer, and Real Madrid can work like that. That's not Emery. Emery wants minute control to the smallest detail. So I don't see that Unai Emery would look. If Real Madrid come in for you, it's a huge opportunity for anyone, isn't it? If Real Madrid, Fan TV or whatever they're called, come in for me and I said, we're going to pay you this and that, you'd have to think about it because it's a move to Spain. Real Madrid, Emery, of course, is Spanish as well, but Emery doesn't leave Villa mid-season whilst we're in the position. We're in the title race. I say that a bit tongue in cheek, but points total wise, Aston Villa are in the title race right now. They're fighting on three fronts, desperate to win a trophy. I don't think Emery leaves before he's won a trophy for Villa anyway. I think he really, really wants to do that, such as his affinity and his kind of love for the club, and also he's grateful to the club as well. I think a lot of people, when they talk about Villa and talk about Emery, I think they forget how grateful Emery actually is for the opportunity he's been given to rebuild his career in England with Villa. I think people overlook that quite a lot. It's nothing concrete, these Real Madrid links. It's certainly not enough to worry me, and it's certainly not enough. I don't think it should be enough to worry anyone else at all. It's Andy Brogan's right there. I actually wouldn't ever do anything other than Villa. I love Villa. Villa's my life. If Real Madrid came in for me, I'm staying. I nearly swore and did a Wolf of Wall Street there. I'd absolutely be staying. I wouldn't leave the Villa there, as Andy Brogan says. But you take my point that, look, Real Madrid are a massive draw. They're probably the biggest club in the world, aren't they? If they came in for you, you'd have to have a little think about it, and Emery would be no different. The crux of it is, I don't want to sound disrespectful to Unai Emery here, I don't think they would come in for Unai. I don't think that's anything that's going to happen. I just think they're in a bit of a pickle at the moment. They're in a bit of a mess, but he's not the type of character that suits what they try to do. And I think Emery himself would know that as well. Look at what's just happened with Xabi Alonso, someone who's tried to almost micromanage to the finest detail. He's come a cropper. He's fell out with players. He's out the door so quickly, so harshly at the time as well. Emery would see that. I don't think Emery's stupid enough to take that job. Like I say, it's Real Madrid, absolutely huge opportunity. No way. I don't think they make a move for him. And this is going to sound well brash and well confident, and I don't mean it to, and it's going to sound ridiculous as well to people that don't support Aston Villa Football Club. Unai Emery doesn't leave Aston Villa for Real Madrid. That's something that I didn't think I'd ever have to say about an Aston Villa manager claiming that they'd stay at Villa over going to Real Madrid. So I don't see it happen at all. And as James Meakin says here, love the streams, but I think I'd prefer Dan Bardell to go to Madrid over Emery. I mean, if it came to that point and it was me or Unai, I'd take one for the team, for the Villa fans. I'm one of you. I'm one of us. I would take one for the team and go to Madrid if it meant Unai Emery staying at Aston Villa. I still think Zidane might go back there. I know he's linked with France. I think the managerial market's actually going to be fascinating in the summer after the World Cup, because I think a lot of big managers are going to come available, and there'll be some big teams looking for a new manager. And I still think Real Madrid will wait till the summer, by the way, to get their next manager in. But yeah, it's Zidane or Ancelotti going back there is probably two of the most obvious candidates to get the job, more so than Emery. So I've done 2 streams now. I need to do some milk for my baby daughter, so I'm going to go. I'll be back tomorrow with the stat pack, and then of course there will be the match preview with Dave Reed out on Saturday morning as well. And if anything else happens transfer wise, any more links, I will jump on and do a live stream tomorrow and Saturday, depending on what happens as well. Keeping the content up here on 1874. And I hope you are all enjoying everything that you're getting at the moment, putting a lot into it, loving doing it as well, loving the support, loving what we're building here on 1874. Last 6-7 months have been incredible for the channel, numbers through the roof. So thank you very much for your continued support here on the channel. And if you are enjoying it, let me know. If there's anything you'd like to see, anything that we're not doing that you'd like us to do, then please do let me know in the comments if you want to. Give us a like as well. Leave us a comment with your thoughts of what I've just been speaking about. Do you expect any more incomings to Villa Park before transfer deadline day? do let me know. If you're watching via YouTube, we're dangerously close to 30K subscribers. Now, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, if you could do that, I'd love to hit 30,000. We're so close. It's been slow going getting there, but we are really, really close now. I'd like to hit that milestone. We could possibly hit it in the next 24 to 48 hours. So please, as I say, if you're not subscribed with your post notifications on, if you could do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. If you're taking this in via Apple or Spotify, 5 stars, reviews, and comments really, really help us. We fly in the Apple podcast chart, constant battle with Claret and Blue to see who can get higher in the sports Apple podcast chart. It's the battle that I'm winning 9 times out of 10, but there is the odd time that Rollo and his cronies overtake me. So it's very important to listen via Apple Podcasts if you're not doing that. If you want to listen extra and get us up the Apple Podcast charts, I'll take that as well. Like I say, watch out for the extra content. If you want to donate, buymeacoffee.com/Dan Bardell and save yourself some money on Luke Rober clothing by using the code TVV20. Don't think I have anything else to say in the longest outro that's ever happened. So take care. Have a great evening. Go back and check out the post-match reaction. If you've jumped straight on live to this, there was a post-match reaction beforehand. Do take that in if you haven't done so already. Nothing else to say, but up the Villa from me. Have a great rest of your evening.